Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Palermo from Foul Mouth Football with my boy Chris Kupari, Coop Man. Real interesting week one this week in the NFL, wouldn't you say, Coop? What do you
Yes,
think?
sir. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so basically what we're going to do tonight is we're just simply going to recap all of week one games, right? We're just going to touch and go on each one of the games that went on this past weekend. And then we're going to review our quote unquote locks of the week. And then, we're going to follow up with another video after that to talk about our week two picks and kind of going in depth those games a little bit too. So,
Yes, sir.
Without further ado, Coop, you want to go ahead and get started, bro?
Yeah, let's do it. First game is we got the Hawks and the Colts. Hawks looked good, man. 28-16 victory in Indy. I'll be honest, though, Colts played a lot better than I thought they would. And I thought Carson Wentz looked pretty good. For everything he's been through, he held up pretty good. But Russell Wilson in that new offense is he's on point, man. Lockett went off, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards, and they look good, man. They looked solid, and Colts couldn't hang with that offense. So it's a good game.
I'm right there with you, man. It's nice to see that Carson Wentz was able to rehab himself back and get in shape in time for the game. But you're right, man. He still had 102 QBR, he still played pretty well. Yeah. He had 251, 2 touchdowns, but who's he throwing the ball to at this point? Zach Pascal, who knows?
Yeah. I don't even know what he's doing.
Nobody knows what's going on there. So
CLD's tough too.
Yeah. It was good. Yeah. 28-16. Good to see Seahawks pull that victory out in Indy. It was a good game. It was fun to watch.
Thought so too.
Yeah.
I remember this pick for me. I had the Hawks. I'm sure you did too. Nobody took the Colts there.
Yeah, I didn't even know who was playing. I thought Ettlinger was going to be playing at quarterback, to be honest with you.
Nobody knew Wentz was going to be in.
Yeah. So the fact that Wentz came back, rehabbed, good for him. He's playing under Frank Reich this year, which was actually his offensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl. So the year he was on pace for MVP too.
Wow, that year. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So, he's going to have some good chemistry. He's just got to work out the kinks. I think he's still a good quarterback, but I don't think he's great.
No, I don't think he's great either.
I think they go subpar this year. I think they go about, 500, 8, what is that, 9-9 now, or 8-8?
Yeah, I don't even know. Something like that, but
middle of the road. I don't even think they can because there's 17 games now. So,
No, they can't then.
They can't. They got to go like 9 and they got to go like 9
8-9 or 9-8.
9, yep. So no Crazy. 500 in the NFL anymore.
It's okay. Loser or winning team.
That's it.
You're going to like this game, kind of. They had a nice rally at the end, but we got the Niners and the Lions. Unfortunately, the Niners came out on top 41-33. Give me those thoughts. What do we think? How'd you feel?
I got to tell you, big Detroit Lions fan here. Years past, and I'm talking under the old Quinn Tisha, I guess you can call it, Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia era, which was awful. Such a bad time in all Detroit Lions fans' life. But under teams, under them, they would have rolled over and just basically died. You know what I mean?
See that. Yeah.
They were down 41-17 at some point, and there was like 6 minutes left to go. There was no hope whatsoever. But what is encouraging to me as a Lions fan is that they just kept going. And it's exactly what Dan Campbell, wants to be, is gritty. You know what I mean? So with the fact that they clawed back, they put themselves in a position for a game-tying drive. And I was like super impressed with that. So, they got their ass kicked up and down the field all day long, which is normal. I will say this, though. Their offensive line played very well. Penei Sewell, which is our first round draft pick this past year. He was playing right tackle all friggin' preseason. Taylor Decker went out. They moved him to left tackle, and he played awesome.
Was Bosa on him all day?
Yes, he played against one of the best pass rushers. He only let up, I think it was 2 QB hits, no sacks, and like 6 hurries. That was it.
Damn.
So he was like number 11th, I saw, for Pro Football Focus.
That's really good
rating. Yeah, and he was like
you were skeptical on him.
Yeah, he was like number 1 or number 2 for rookies. So he was back in his natural position at left tackle, the blind side.
Oh, because he was doing right tackle.
He was playing right tackle and he was having some growing pains. But just a couple of numbers here. Jared Goff went 38-57, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. Pretty encouraging. He had a 92.6 QBR.
That's good.
Gotta tell you, though, I knew this was going to happen. He can't throw the ball downfield to save his life. 5.9 yards per attempt.
That's his
thing,
though. Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. He threw it to Jamal Williams, who had 9 catches for 54 and a touch. I'm sorry, 8 catches for 56 and a touch. He had 9 rushes for 54. DeAndre Swift had 11 rushes for 39, 8 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. My boy TJ Hawkinson, 8 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. So
Yep.
some pretty awesome things that are happening.
For sure.
And I think that the fact that they showed that toughness and that grit is very encouraging. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing next and how they bounce back. They're going to be in a prime time game this coming Monday against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
They're Monday night against the Packers.
Mhm.
In where is it, home or away?
It's away. It's away. So it's in Lambeau, but we'll see, man. You know, I like the fight. Just a couple San Fran stats here. Jimmy G went for 17 for 25, 314 and a touch. Trey Lance came in for one toss. It was a 5-yard touchdown. He looks pretty promising. Rookie Eli Mitchell, 19 rushes for 104 against us and 1 touchdown. So hoping to pick him up on waiver wires.
Yeah, he played.
Because Raheem Mostert's out. He's out for the next 8 weeks, so he'll probably be the starting running back. So
yeah, he played well.
All you fantasy owners, go after Eli Mitchell. He's going to be a nice little pickup.
Remember that here. Foul football. It gives you the winning running back.
Foul football, baby. Let's go. But yeah, 0-1 to start the season. It was to be expected. So.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, they played good. I loved watching the end of that game, how they created the fumble. I mean, they never gave up. It was awesome to watch. I'm not gonna lie. It was like the first time that I like watching football in general, but Detroit Lions football sometimes in the past, just like watching Miami, sometimes it's a little boring. But that was exciting. Yeah. That was like it was non-rollover, like you were talking about. So
it was. I like that.
Kudos to Dan Campbell and that team for that.
Yeah, a little something to look forward to. So
for sure. So the next game was a pretty boring game, but ended up a little more scoring in the second half. Steelers at the Bills. Actually pretty shocked in this game that the Steelers came out on top 23-16. I had Steelers winning. Or I mean I had Bills winning, not Steelers. I had the Bills going and losing.
Yep.
But yeah, for this one, I mean, Josh Allen just couldn't get it going. That I don't know if that Steelers defense is for real, but it was tough for him to get any type of rhythm.
Yeah.
I just thought the way that their offense was last year, that they would have came in hot at home, fans back, but it didn't work out for him that way. And I just think that Josh Allen looked flustered a lot more than I ever saw him look last year. And I watched that game pretty closely too. So, but yeah, I don't know. Ben Roethlisberger got the job done. I didn't think he looked good at all. I thought he had maybe, I don't know, a few good throws, but he was off his game.
Catching up to him, man.
Yeah, you can tell.
Big time. Yeah, man. It's obviously I'm a Detroit Lions fan, but living in upstate New York, you always got to root. I mean, except for you're a Dolphins fan. It is what it is. But it's a hometown team for me, so I always check in on them. They're like my second favorite team, my AFC team, whatever. So yeah, it was a little distracting. It was a little tough to see that. I mean, you're right. Josh Allen could not get a damn thing going, man. That defense for the Steelers is legit, though. I mean, they just signed TJ Watt to a big time extension, so kudos. He
showed out too.
Yeah, kudos to him for doing what he needed to do to get re-signed. Chase Claypool, he looked pretty good too, man. I got to tell you, he had a couple of really nice catches that kind of put them in position for putting points on the board. But nothing too exciting in regards to the receiving core right now. I mean, Juju's not looking all that great. Deontay Johnson's not looking all that great. He's getting open. He had a touchdown, but there's just 3 subpar wide receivers.
Do you think it's the receivers, or do you think it's Roethlisberger? And they couldn't get a run game going either. Najee Harris did not play well. So I don't. What is it? I don't know if it's Roethlisberger or just the whole offense in general.
It's the defense putting them in positions to have a shorter field to play with.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, man. I mean, that defense is a top 5 defense all day long.
Yeah, they're unreal.
I mean, they even got Melvin Ingram now from the Chargers. He played well.
About that.
Yeah, they got TJ Watt. You got your boy Minkah Fitzpatrick, who just time and time again just shows out every single freaking play. Good. He's a baller. Absolutely. He's a baller.
Yeah, Hayward, they got in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hayward's nasty. I mean, they're stacked everywhere.
They are. They really are. And that's the thing too, is that it's, again, and I think I alluded to this in one of our first videos, is that offense wins games, but defense is going to win a championship for your organization.
Agreed.
And the fact that they're playing with Ben Roethlisberger, who probably doesn't have much time left in the NFL, to be honest with you. He's coming off of that awful arm injury that he had. And he's still not 100%. You can tell by the way he throws the ball. He's just not unsure of himself. But I mean, 188 yards and only 1 touchdown. That's nothing. That's nothing.
Those defense isn't nothing to. I mean, they're pretty good, but still, Ben. He looks. I mean, maybe just Josh Allen had a bad game, but Ben there's something missing. This is, for me, my opinion. If they don't make a run or make the playoffs at all, this is Ben's last year. Whether he wants it to be but the
Yeah.
Steelers will move on with him. They will move
Yeah.
on from him if this is
They'll hire him back as an advisor. That's about
something.
it. Yeah,
Something.
that's
But yeah, good game. So Bills, they're 0-1 and Steelers are 1-0. 20,
I'm looking forward to seeing what the Bills do next week, to be honest with you, because they're a team that everybody's on. They're high on to go to the AFC Championship, maybe even Super Bowl this year. So good teams, they bounce back. You know what I mean? It's interesting to see how they bounce back. So yeah, they had a bad game, but it's what they do in this this week now to prepare for next week. So
yeah, no, good point. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping they lose next week, but we'll see.
Division's wide open.
So Texans at the Jags. This was a shock to me, to be honest with you. I couldn't believe, not that I think Jacksonville's good, but the fact that the Texans went in and had a 37-21 victory, or I mean, it was at home, or was it at Jacksonville? It was at Jacksonville.
No, it was in Houston.
It was in Houston? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But still, one way or another, Tyrod Taylor showed out.
Yeah, man.
He played well.
Good for him too. You know,
I feel bad for him, but
if it wasn't for that freak accident where he had like an injection into his rib cage and something screwed up, right? Last
where
year,
Herbert took over. Yeah.
Where Herbert came and took over, and it was like, see you later. I mean, he probably still would have been playing for the Chargers until they let Herbert take the reins. But yeah, I mean, he's always been a serviceable quarterback. There's nothing wrong with his game. He's just not an elite quarterback. He's a little bit older too.
Now he is, for sure.
But he's mobile, and he brings the ball downfield. I mean, he had 21 for 33, 291. I mean, that's not bad.
That's good.
Yeah, 2 tutties. There's nothing wrong with
bad.
that.
Love the tutties. That's
Love
good.
the tutties, baby. I mean, everybody loves a good tutty.
Oh, for sure.
So
I really do hope this is his chance to make something, because he always gets screwed.
Listen, I'm sorry, this is foul mouth football, but fuck Deshaun Watson right now, right? You gotta be thinking to yourself, hey, this asshole got himself in trouble by doing something he probably wasn't supposed to be doing.
Right.
And he's already publicly said he doesn't want to play for the Texans anymore. This is my fucking time to shine at this point, right?
Right.
This is my team now. So go ahead, bro. Go on with your bad self.
I agree with you 100%. He's got to be pissed off too. He gets hurt, Baker Mayfield takes over. He gets hurt, Herbert takes over. It's like he's got to be pissed. And
he's not a bad quarterback, dude. He's not. He's
not
better
bad.
than half the quarterbacks in the league, I'd say right now.
Honestly, I hate to say it because I was never a Tyrod fan, but I take him over Tua right now.
Sure.
I don't know.
I'd take him over Goff. I would take him over Goff.
He would.
But let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall pick from Clemson.
Yep.
He had not the greatest of games, but wasn't horrible. I mean, he did have 332 yards, but he had 3 picks and he had 3 touchdowns. I did pick him up as a super flex for my fantasy team. He still put up about 23 points for me. Wasn't bad.
Not at all.
But most of those points came obviously towards the end in some scrap game, some scrap points there. Growing pains, man. I mean, he's still got to get acclimated to the NFL system. I mean, the kid's I think he's going to be very, very good at some point. It's just right now he's got to figure out how to play in the NFL. So
agreed. He's going to be top quarter. I mean, he had 1 touchdown pass that was literally it was a dime. It was on a line down I don't even know, 50 yards down the field. It was in between 2 defenders. It was great. Right. And that just showed you that there's a couple. I feel like when you're a team like Jacksonville, you look at those plays, an individual play of Lawrence. You don't look at the loss and all this. You look at good plays and you're like, okay, we can build on that. Because right now, they're not making the playoffs. They're not making the Super Bowl. So you got to build on the little things. And I think he's got a good future. I really do.
Absolutely, man. He keeps his nose clean. He's a baller. He's going to work hard. He obviously outperformed all the other quarterbacks in that room right now. They even fucking went as far as getting rid of Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
Right? They got rid of him.
Right.
So that's his team. That's going to be his team for years to come at this point. And,
agreed.
Urban Meyer's going to coach him up. They're going to figure it out. And I think they're going to be a contender at some point in the next few years. So
I agree. Mm-hmm. Good game though. And, nice to see Tyrod Taylor get his chance and make something of it.
Yeah. Mark Ingram too, man. Mark Ingram had a solid performance too. He had 85 yards and a tutty. So
not bad. They got so many running backs on that team.
And Brandon Cooks showed out too, bro.
I saw a couple good catches that he had. Yeah.
He had 7 or what do you have? 5 catches for 132. That's not bad, bro.
That's not bad.
He's that number 1 receiver there, no question.
Oh, hands down. Hands down. So next we got Cardinals, Titans. Man.
Wow. Didn't see that one coming. Gotta tell you. I knew it was going to be a competitive game, but not a landslide like that.
That was crazy. I mean, it wasn't even close. Like literally the game. I think Chandler Jones had like 5 sacks.
Yep,
he just
he's on pace for 80 sacks in this season.
It's insane.
Stuff like that. He was playing against Taylor Lewan too. I mean, come on.
He's
Pro Bowl,
awesome.
He's a Pro Bowl fucking offensive lineman.
Got eaten up.
Yeah.
Lewan, eaten up.
Smacked. He came out publicly. Did you see it? He threw it on Instagram and Twitter.
Who did?
Taylor Lewan. He was he's like, thank you, Chandler Jones, for exposing me. Titan fans, I'm sorry. This is not acceptable. And now all it's going to do is make me go back to the drawing board and get better.
Good for him to say that.
He owned up to it and fucking he knew he got his ass kicked. But 5 sacks, dude.
Oh, you got crushed. You just got the fact that they didn't change anything and just kept letting him sack him, like no extra help. Like
I mean, maybe throw a second guy on him, just to give him a little chip or a little something,
nothing,
give him a little help. But
he just lived in the backfield.
I knew he was a good pass rusher, but do you think he was that free because they were kind of leaning more towards JJ Watt's side?
Maybe.
I mean, JJ Watt's coming towards the end of his career, though, So I don't know, man.
I don't know. What about, do you have Henry at all in your fantasy?
I do not. My running backs this year are Delvin Cook and, Ronald Jones.
Oh, Ronnie. Yeah, that was
Ronnie J. Not good.
He didn't do shit. Yeah.
But I will tell you who I did have. I had D Hop, bro.
Oh, he played well.
Name of my team is called House of Hopkins.
Like it.
Yeah, we all are very thankful that Hopkins is on our team.
He's so good, man.
6 catches for 83 and 2 tutties. I'll take it, bro.
He's so good, man.
I'll take it. Yeah. My team actually scored the most points in this first week, 184. So
nice.
First place, baby.
That second tutty he had was nice.
It was a nice
one back of the end zone.
Yeah.
Kyler I mean, Murray's nasty.
Tap. Yeah. He's nasty. He is nasty.
Yeah. He plays the best when he's just getting rushed, and you're almost better off just sitting back and not rushing him because he loves leaving the pocket. He loves it.
That's where he does his most damage. So why not?
Crazy.
Insane, dude.
Definitely a good game. I thought Tannehill looked flustered. They couldn't get the run game going. Just nothing was going right. I think. It was disappointing. Julio Jones, I don't think did anything. Did he? Did he have?
He got that unsportsmanlike conduct.
He did get that?
Yeah, to put him in a position where he didn't have a single catch.
I don't think. Yeah.
He didn't have a single.
He had a couple drops. I think.
No, he did. He did. I'm sorry, he did. He had 3 catches for 29 yards, but that's not Julio Jones.
No,
Those are not Julio Jones numbers.
He had a couple drops that I saw when I turned it on. I saw him drop 2 balls. Not like he contested, but
right.
I don't know, man. He didn't look. The whole offense looked just bad. Right now, to be honest with you.
I think they bounce back though. They're another team that I think is going to be there's high hopes for them this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think once they pull it all together and kind of put themselves in the right positioning during the games, I think they're going to be successful. I still think they make a run at the playoffs for sure.
Yeah. So. They're definitely a playoff team. Just a weak defense is the only thing that keeps them from, but their offense is used to putting up points, but not this week. So now we got the Eagles Falcons game. Man, I called this one completely wrong, but your boy showed out.
I called it the other way. This should have been my lock.
That should have been your lock.
I said Jalen Hurts was going to show up and show out, man. And God, he sure did.
He looked good.
32-6. Jalen Hurts. I was 1 pick away from getting him as my super flex. I was so mad, man. I wanted him. I knew he was going to have a good season. I mean, he had 264 and 3 tutties, bro. I mean, come on. Man. He had a QBR of 126.
It's crazy.
That's really good. Let's compare him to his 2 other, predecessors, Tua Tagovailoa and freaking Mac Jones.
Outplayed both of them.
Both, bro. And they were all 3 starters of Alabama, one right after another.
Mm-hmm.
And now Jalen Hurts, I personally think if he continues to play the way that he is, I think in the long run, he may very well have the best career out of all 3 of them.
I could see that. I could see that. It's the system, and I think he fits well in that Nick Sirianni system. And
absolutely,
Mac Jones, we'll talk about that too. But Mac Jones, I think fits well in that system. So I think they're both. But I was shocked to see how good he played because last year he came in and he didn't play that well in a few games. Different system, but
yeah, he had signs of it, and I think that with his mentality, his work ethic, I mean, he's the type of guy who, as soon as someone like Devontae Smith came into the building, he instantly gravitated towards him. Not only did they go to Alabama together, but they had that same work ethic together, and it
Yeah.
showed on the field this past weekend too, right? I mean,
Yep.
Jalen Hurts came out publicly and said Devontae Smith used to skip parties and stuff just so they can go run routes in the gym or something like that.
It's
you know
amazing.
what I mean? Yeah,
It's
and
amazing.
that's the type of mentality that you probably are seeing with the Eagles team now, because let's face it, they're starting quarterback and they're starting receiver, and it's just going to kind of snowball throughout the whole team.
Agreed,
So
man.
I think the Eagles are going to be a tough team to beat in that division now after seeing this past weekend.
I thought for sure Cowboys are going to run away with it, but now I got to second guess myself. They look good.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call them anymore, but the Washington football team, they don't look that good in that division now, especially now that they lost Fitzpatrick.
Gone, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to be between, I mean, don't get me wrong, Dallas looked good.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second, but I think the Eagles, man, now it's starting to second guess myself here. I think the Eagles might run away with that division.
I'll tell you, Atlanta, it was disappointing because I picked them because I thought they had some weapons on offense, with Kyle Pitts getting drafted, Ridley having an amazing preseason and training camp, and Matt Ryan is just, I don't know, man. He just,
told you.
Yeah, you were right. I thought he would show out a little bit, but he's not there. It's the new coach and stuff too, but they didn't look good. They didn't look good.
He had a freaking average, like he had an average yard per attempt of 4.7.
Could nobody get open, or he just doesn't know what he's doing anymore?
Buddy, I have no idea.
It's not. They
didn't look good.
They didn't look good.
No.
But congrats to the Eagles. They played a hell of a game, and I'm excited to watch him play with Hurts now.
I can't wait to see them. They're an exciting team. Yeah, they're an exciting team to watch. So if they're ever in a primetime game, I'll be glued.
Yeah. Next is my lock of the week.
Heyo, you called it.
Yeah, Cincy, Minnesota. I thought this game was a really good game, actually. I had it on one of the TVs and I was watching it, but they started off slow, both teams did, and then they just started scoring, and I thought Burrow looked uncomfortable at first, but then he got into a rhythm, and at one point they were up, I think 24-14, and then Minnesota is always that kind of team that'll find their way kind of back in,
claw back.
They will, and they came back in, and Bengals ended up taking it in OT, but Jamar Chase had a touchdown. It was a good, he caught the ball.
He had a hell of a game, bro.
Played good. Yeah.
He had over 100. What, 101? He had 5 catches for 101 and a tutty. So I mean, bro.
People were nervous. I thought he was gonna, he dropped. So did you hear what he said about the ball?
Yeah.
It was slicker. The NFL ball's a little slicker.
Yeah, it was a little strange for a grown ass man to be, entering the NFL and saying such a thing. Yeah. He also said that it doesn't have it has the stripe on there too or something. So did
he say that
about the coloring? He didn't have the stripe on it like he saw in the college games.
So it made it harder to
see. Yeah, he said it made it harder to see.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He said it was slicker and it was harder to see because it didn't have the white stripe.
He'll be fine.
Come on.
I know you can't say it. He'll be good though, man.
You can't ask for much more out of your first round draft pick to have 5 catches for 101 and a touchdown. So kudos.
Unbelievable. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins though, man. And this is why I picked the lock, and obviously it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but he just checks the ball down. If you watch him, he literally and it's good for you because you get Dalvin Cook to get every check down mostly.
Oh, yeah.
He's not a good quarterback, man. I never liked him. I don't enjoy his play style or anything.
Yeah, he's a goober. He's a goober.
Oh, he's such a goober.
Most overrated and underdeliver person I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
what the hell has he done?
Nothing. This would be his last year in Minnesota for sure. He'll be done.
Who the hell brought him? What was that guy's name? Case Keenum brought him to the freaking playoffs on that New Orleans Minnesota Miracle thing.
Yeah.
And that was the last time they even sniffed the playoffs.
They should have kept Keenum.
Ever since Cousins got signed for a way too big of a bag, they have not even come close to the. I mean, I think the best that they've done was 8-8 last year.
And their defense isn't even that bad. I don't know what they're. Yeah, I'm with you. I think he's not the guy.
He's not the guy.
He's not the guy. I like watching the Bengals though. It's funny. Teams like the Bengals and like teams that you usually don't like to watch. Now they got these young players that are exciting, and now
think about it, dude. You got the Bengals, you got the Browns who are up and coming now. You got the Eagles with young players that are up and coming. I mean, it's definitely an exciting time.
It's exciting. I like seeing the switch. I like seeing these teams that are never in. Finally, everybody's figuring it out.
Right. Except for the Lions. But yeah, that's cool.
They'll be there, man. They'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be dead before they get there. Yeah.
You and me both.
Another 50.
Oh, man. Carolina, New York. Carolina took it 19-14. Not a super exciting game. I like Zach Wilson though. Yeah, Sam Darnold is exactly the quarterback he was. I mean, he's he didn't play.
He's not bad.
He's not bad.
Not great.
He's not great. Yeah,
Right.
I agree. I like Zach Wilson though. I don't know what I like about him, but I like him. I like the energy,
the swag
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He had some pretty bad throws, but he had a good touchdown pass, I think, to Corey Davis that I saw. He's got an arm.
One of my receivers, baby.
There you go.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I skipped on him. I was nervous about Wilson, but he played okay. I just I think that team's young, and they're gonna be a bottom of the NFL team, but they'll be at least this year they'll be a rebuild year, and Wilson will show some bright spots. But I liked watching them better than I liked watching Carolina. I don't know why. I find them to be more exciting to me for some reason, because I like Wilson. I like the young guys.
Yeah, and you really can't put Darnold into the old guy category because he's still relatively young too. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it was a statement game for him because he really didn't do anything that spectacular, but he protected the ball. He only had one touchdown. It was a deep throw to Robbie Anderson, which that's a nice connection.
Yeah.
But he managed the game. It wasn't anything too exciting, man. I mean, a 19-14 game. I'd rather watch, you know what I mean? Nothing. I'd rather watch fucking pro bowling at that point, I'm gonna throw the fucking PBA on, so
yep.
But,
I forget who the Jets lost to, not to cut you off, but they lost. I forget, they had a big injury. Now he's out for the season, I think, on the defensive side.
That was preseason though, wasn't it?
No, I thought they just had somebody get injured in this game here. I'd have to look it up, but I could be wrong.
Shit. Okay. We might have to call Chris in here.
Yeah, we got to get Camella.
Get Camella in this. Yeah, the phone a friend at this point.
Sure. Yeah.
Phone a friend.
But yeah, I thought the game was it was like you said, 19-14. McCaffrey, he was back, so I don't know. He played all right.
He didn't do anything incredible like he normally does, but he still had 98 on the ground. He had 89 and 98. So I mean, he had almost 200 yards all purpose. So good for him. Solid. That's a nice way to come back from a bad injury. It
is.
And plus they got the win. So
not a lot to say about that game, but I like to see Zach Wilson do a little bit, not too much because he's in our division, but he looked okay.
I would like to see more out of someone like a Terrace Marshall Jr. I would like to see more. I mean, I think isn't Elijah Moore? No, Elijah Moore played.
He played.
Didn't do anything.
He played.
He didn't do anything.
Did he have a catch?
He had one catch, and it looks like it was a negative 3-yard gain.
Ooh, yeah,
so,
not good.
I'd like to see a little bit more than that out of the younger guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Corey Davis, I'm all about. I got him on my fantasy team. He showed out. He had 2 tutties for me and 97 yards. So whatever, I'll take it.
Yep.
But you built the team, as a younger team. So start using the younger players a little bit more. Agreed.
No, I agree with you. Los Angeles Chargers, Washington football team.
Yep.
We got Chargers winning. What do you think about Fitzy going down in the hole? You think?
That's unfortunate, man. I do like Fitzpatrick. I think he brings a little something to every team he goes to.
Yep.
And I like him, man. I mean, he's not like a wildly great football player, but he's a smart guy. What is he, a Harvard grad? He knows where to put the ball. He knows how to play the game. He's smart. He's a student of the game. He doesn't rely on his athletic ability. He relies on his smarts, and he does have a good arm. But with that being said, it sucks, man.
Sucks.
How long is he? Is he out for the season?
They're thinking, there was a report that one of the doctors or whatever, team doctor, was saying he could be out for the season, but they don't know 100%. So it's going to be a long time.
Yeah. So Heineke gets in.
Yeah, or they fly Cam in. Rivera Cam reunion. You think they do it or no?
No, I don't. I really don't. Even though they could probably sign him for a bag of peanuts at the game. He would probably come. You know what I mean? He wouldn't even want money. He'd probably pay them money to be the quarterback.
He just wants to play
at this point.
Yeah.
But you can't not play Tyler Heineke.
Yeah.
He played extremely well in that playoff game last year, and he almost beat. Wasn't it Tampa Bay? He almost beat Tampa, I thought.
Yeah, he played well
in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he played very well. He still had 122 yards this past week. He had 1 touchdown. He had a QBR of 119.
Not bad.
You got to play him. Just let him play.
Let him play.
I mean,
I'm not sold on him, but yeah, I agree. You got to let him play.
You got to give him an opportunity. I mean, you might want to get somebody who's a seasoned veteran in there. You know what I mean? At some point, you get somebody to back him up. But
sure.
You got to give him an opportunity at this point.
No, I agree. But it is unfortunate about Fitz because, like you said, he does bring a different energy and a different feel.
Sure.
Then we got Herbert on the other side, who's I mean, he's good, man.
He's really good, man.
He's definitely
you know what? Like a lot of the Chargers fans did not want to see him in a Chargers uniform when they first drafted him. They're like, "Are you who is this fucking guy?" You know what I mean? The dude's from Oregon. He looks like he's 12 years old. You know, he's got pimples on his face. He looks like a Dufonzo.
Still going through puberty.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But I mean, the kid shows up. You know, I mean, he throws for 337. He's got a cannon. I mean, your boy. I have Mike Williams as a receiver. I did not start him, but he is definitely now looking more and more like maybe a super flex option for me. At this point. We'll see.
For sure. They played a good defense too. Washington has a good D, so
hell yeah, they do.
Mike Williams will play a lot better, especially if play against I mean, they're I would say top 5-6 defense in the NFL. They were projected to be so.
Absolutely, I would say they're maybe a top 5, top 6 throwing offense too. In that, if you want to throw it in there, I mean, they got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, they got Austin Eckler out of the backfield.
Jared Cook now.
Tight end. So I mean, you can't say too many bad things about their offense.
No, you really can't.
So I mean, they got the win. They
got the win.
Interesting to see where they go.
It will. Mm-hmm. So 1-0 Chargers, 0-1 Washington football team.
Heyo.
I'm gonna let you talk about your lock of the week.
Whoops. Fart in my mouth on that one. Wow, what an tough ass rapage right there. Dude. My lock of the week were the Green Bay Packers over the New Orleans Saints. And oh my gosh, everything's falling on me over here. What the
That's because you can't even. You're so flustered with the lock of the week.
I'm so flustered, and they beat them in Lambeau. It wasn't like they beat them in New Orleans. You know what I mean?
And they're not an outdoor team, right? Supposedly New Orleans.
No, that was horrible. Oh, wait a minute.
Incredible.
Wait, they didn't. That's right. Hurricane.
It was in Jacksonville.
It was in Jacksonville. I forgot. Yes, it was. It was a home game for the Saints, but they played in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but still outdoors.
Still an outdoors game that they're not used to. But I mean, weird fact: Jameis Winston didn't even throw for 200 yards, but he had 5 touchdowns.
It's incredible.
Never been done before.
That's never been done before?
No NFL quarterback has ever thrown for under 200 yards and had 5 touchdowns.
Does that just tell you that the Packers defense is that bad? Are they just having so much run after the catch that they're not, or is it, I mean, how do you even do that? That you run the ball down there, you dink and dunk, and then.
Well, I mean, not for anything, but Aaron Rodgers had 2 interceptions, right? Last year, he threw 5 total in 17 weeks of football, 16 games.
Yeah.
He threw 2 just the other day. So one stands to reason that, I mean, the Saints got the ball in good field position. So he had a shorter field to play with.
Right.
I think wasn't there a fumble in the game too? I think there was a few turnovers.
I'd have to look up. They're doing everything wrong. But actually, now I'm thinking about it, they wouldn't have any catch and run because that would still go for the quarterback's yards. So it'd have to be, like you said, short field.
Short field. So, and to be honest with you, and Aaron Rodgers is my starting quarterback. He got me 3 points total.
Wow.
He had a QBR of 36.8. That is not cutting it. I mean, first game back from an MVP season last year. I mean, he went 48-5 last year. This year he's 0-2 for quarterback or touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah, it's not him.
I mean, even Stephen A. Smith went public, the other day and was like, that was atrocious. Aaron Rodgers should be ashamed of himself. When he's absolutely correct, he should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he didn't look like he even wanted to play. And I mean, with everything that happened this offseason, you're still getting paid to play the game. You're still one of the most heavily sought after quarterbacks in the NFL. But you're also playing for a team that went 13-3 last year. You were in the NFC Championship, and you were the MVP of the friggin' league, bro. You did nothing the other day. And you made it known that you looked like you didn't even care. That's what I was afraid of, the mental aspect of everything that went on in the offseason. I think we touched on it on the last video, but I just didn't know if he'd be there. And with the long hair and stuff, I don't know if it's weighing down something, but there's something different about him, man. It wasn't. He doesn't look good.
He just doesn't look like who he was last year. I don't know, man.
The Aaron Rodgers of old, man. He looks terrible. Terrible.
Let me ask you a question though. So he comes out next week, does this same thing, just the energy, the whole thing. Does it cross your mind as a coach to possibly just start putting love in?
Absolutely.
After 2 weeks? Yeah.
100%. I would, just to make a statement.
Right, to
To
Aaron.
be honest with you, be like, listen, dude, I know you like, Jeopardy. I know you like
Mhm.
your long hair and acting like an asshole, trying
Yeah.
to be the president of this team and trying to be the owner of this team. Listen, dude, you're not above this team. I know you got a lot of money coming in from us.
Sure.
You were the MVP of the league. You're the one who sells tickets. We get it. But guess what? You're not winning us ball games right now, and you're playing like shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Jordan Love in, who we drafted to be your replacement. We drafted him in the first round last year. So he sat behind your MVP season, and he's learning. He's licking his chops to get in at this point. So
how did he look? Did you see him at all play at the?
I watched a couple of plays. He didn't really do too much.
I didn't see too much. Yeah, I didn't watch any of that.
5 for 7. He had 68 yards, no interception. He got sacked once, but he had 102 QBR.
Yeah, it's tough to come in like that though. You're getting crushed and you're just basically garbage
time, and it. And you're probably not even playing with the starters at that point, right?
No.
They probably have like their second and third string, offensive linemen in, getting them some reps in. You know what I
would
mean?
agree.
Which it is what it is, and that's how it should be. But at the same time, you're right. It's kind of like a deflate mentality.
Sure.
I'm coming in for garbage time. But at the same time, you got to show out too. Just say, hey, I'm ready to go. Fuck Aaron Rodgers at this point, man.
100%. I was disappointed to see that, but we'll see how he, turns around this week if he can against your boys. Maybe
that was my lock of the week. Man, Saints put my foot in my mouth. That's for damn sure. Hey, man, if he plays like that next week, the Lions have always played the Packers extremely tough.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I can go on and on, but I'm not going to, about how I personally think that at some points in the game, somebody calls a little fucking magic phone and puts a little something in the referee's ear and say, hey, you got to get a turnover called here at some point or do some bullshit call. I think that,
you do think that, huh?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Think
I
a little.
Do. I do a little something. So everybody's expecting the Packers to win on Monday.
Sure.
So I'm expecting the Packers to win on Monday. If A-Rod plays like that next week, no shot. I think the Lions beat him.
If he plays like that, no, they'll definitely win.
Absolutely.
Should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Next game was our exciting game of the week was the Broncos Giants.
It turned out to be not so bad.
It wasn't that bad. I
got to tell you, Teddy B, man. Teddy B is awesome.
He's good.
I'm happy for Teddy B. I got him sitting on my bench right now.
I like Bridgewater. I've always liked Bridgewater. I thought he played really well. Jerry Jeudy got injured, but he's got some decent weapons on that team. I just think I think the Giants are. I just don't think they're a good team. I don't. I like Barkley. He didn't look bad. He didn't look
good.
He didn't look good, but I think he's a little nervous right now. I mean,
they only put him in for 10 plays.
Is that all he played?
Yeah, 10 snaps. Well, it might have been more, but I don't think they brought him in as a blocking running back. So
right.
He only had 10 touches.
Yeah, so him and Booker split.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much to say about this game. I didn't watch a lot of this game because I didn't really care too much about it. Saw the highlights a little bit, but
gotta tell you, I'm gonna throw one finger up to the boy Kenny Galladay. You're a bum, and it showed. You had 4 catches for 64 yards, and your team got ass raped by the Broncos. So, good luck with your $18 million. You could have been the number 1 receiver for the Lions, and maybe had a little bit better of an outcome or showing. Who knows?
Did they offer him a contract in Detroit? And
he said no. Him $1 million less than what the Giants did.
And he just said.
He said no.
See ya.
Yeah. Well, it was probably because Stafford was on the way out too, and he was unsure who the quarterback. But you went to a team with a shittier quarterback. I mean, I'm sorry. No matter who replaced Stafford, Daniel Jones is still fucking worse than that guy. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break.
Who wants Daniel Jones?
Exactly.
Nobody. It's only a matter of time before he's done under center, but we'll see what happens with that.
I think he's going to be a freaking he's going to be a backup quarterback for somewhere like the Washington football team.
There you go.
Yeah.
I agree. So, so Broncos take it 1-0. Giants are 0-1. So we got Dolphins Patriots. Yeah, man.
Go ahead,
we're 1-0.
That's you.
Yeah. The thing about it is
I love me some Tua.
He just, man, it was, I'll be honest, good for the win, going to Foxborough, win week 1. I didn't enjoy the performance. I didn't think they played that great. I'm talking about the offensive side. Defensively, they had some holes too, but I I'm not sold on the season for Tua and how he's going to play. We're the same exact offense as we were last year with Tua in. He doesn't bring a spark. He doesn't bring what you need to give the energy to a team that has weapons. We have weapons on the team, and he's just they don't sustain drives. They had a turnover early too. They were up 7-0, had a turnover, and they went 3 and out. I mean, you can't do that. They went run, or they went pass, run, and then another run. It was just, the play calling was bad. I don't know. Tua's just I would take Fitzpatrick back over Tua, but
sure.
Nevertheless, a win and 1-0. Mac Jones looked good. I don't know if did you watch any of the games?
I did. Yeah, I actually had our boy Nikki Ruggiero over, baby. She comes over with this he's got one shirt, a Miami Dolphins shirt, and it looks like an Afghan. It's gigantic. He looks like he's wearing his grandmother's muumuu, to be honest.
My God.
Yeah.
Change.
He's hilarious. Shout out Rouge. But listen, I mean, I had the game on for him. So I actually, once the Lions started getting their ass kicked, I changed the TVs for him because I got a 5 TV setup over here.
Yeah.
And I put the Patriots and the Dolphins game on the main with the sound.
Sure.
And it was, I watched the game, and you're absolutely right, man. I got to tell you, dude, Tua is just flat. And I think what we talked about before we started tonight's podcast is that he's not a leader, bro. Like, you are playing the most important position on the field. There's no other position on the field that's more important than the quarterback. None. You have to know what everybody on the field is doing. All 11 guys, that includes yourself, obviously, right?
Yep.
You have to read a defense. You have to figure out where to check it down to and do it. He does not provide that spark. He's not a man leading other men. He's a boy playing alongside of men. That's what it is.
I agree.
And I think I said this earlier today. I don't like his throwing mechanic. I think he takes too long to get the ball out of his hand, and it hinders his ability to hit an open receiver because he's a little bit off on the timing. I got to say, though, your boy Jalen Waddle, you get the ball in his hands, he's explosive. So with him, Parker,
Fuller
got Fuller coming back this week. That's going to be nice. I didn't know Albert Wilson was still playing too.
Yeah, he was there.
How old is that guy?
He's been around, man. He had the full year off last year because of COVID, but
I feel like he's older than us.
He's not. No. He's not that old. I don't think.
1992. So what's that make him?
6 years younger than us.
29.
Yeah,
pretty old for a
getting up there. Yeah, I didn't realize he was that. He played for the Chiefs for that long, huh?
Played for the Chiefs, and I think he played for the Falcons at some point too.
Did he? Maybe
I think so. No, no, Kansas City.
Just Kansas City, and then Miami took him.
Yeah.
But no, I'm with you. Tua's just it's tough. And flipping to the Patriots side of things, Mac Jones looked good.
He did.
He looked good. They have a good offensive line, though. Miami couldn't get to them no matter what they did. They blitzed. They did everything, and I think 2 or 3 times I saw them actually get a hand on him. But Mac Jones stayed calm. Where Tua, every time there's a little bit of pressure, he goes, he doesn't know what to do. He loses his first read. He gets flustered. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But this stat right here is crazy. So 11 for 16 that Patriots went on 3rd downs, and they lose the game.
Isn't that crazy?
Imagine how much time you have the ball. Like 11 for 16. You're holding the ball forever, and you still lose.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't play Patriot football, though. They had turnovers. They had a ton of penalties, and they lost the game on a fumble, basically. So but yeah, props to Miami.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys are the only one who got a win in that division. So you guys are 1-0, and everybody else is 0-1. So you're first in that division right now. Let's go. Man.
Best team.
Yeah, best team in the NFL, the Miami Dolphins football team.
Yeah, so a good game. I mean, not good game. Boring for me because no offense, but a good game for the win.
Yeah, and I'll throw this in there too. Damian Harris had a good game for the Patriots. He had 100 yards with 23 touches. So, I mean, that's nothing to, be mad about. So you got a good running offense, maybe starting to show up. You got, Mac Jones, a seasoned rookie, actually. He seems like a seasoned vet, but he's a rookie. I got to tell you, I'm right there with you though, man. I'm not a big Tua fan, but you guys got the win. Maybe he'll show up at some point throughout the year. I hope so for your sake. I know you.
Me too, man.
Team, man. I hope they do well, but yeah, I'll be rooting for him.
We'll see what happens, man. Bills next week, so Be a tough
Bills
one.
Mafia.
Next game was a really good game. I like both teams. Chiefs and Browns.
That was a good game, man.
That was really, really good.
That was exciting. It was a good game. I enjoyed watching it. Baker Mayfield played well. He didn't have any touchdowns though, which is surprising because
He had no touchdowns, huh?
321
no
he threw for. No tuts, bro.
Man.
Nick Chubb was Nick Chubbing, you know.
Love
He
Nick Chubb.
had 83 yards and 2 tutties. Kareem Hunt could be a starter anywhere in the NFL.
100%,
really.
man.
I mean, he could go back to Kansas City and give them a little bit more of a spark than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm not a huge fan of him.
Same.
Not a huge fan.
But you know, he did his dirty work and he's where he is because of his own personal, you know, things. But whatever, he's making the most of it.
Sure.
I think the Browns are going to be a team to be reckoned with this year, man. That defensive line, dude. There was one play where I saw them sack Patrick Mahomes, where literally Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney crushed.
I saw that. Yeah.
Crushed Mahomes. Like literally, they both got to him at the exact same time and just pancaked the shit out of him. And it was one of the most frightening tackles I've ever seen because I would have probably died on the field. Right
Oh, yes.
Because both of them are freak athletes and both of them are just absolute monsters on the defensive line. So good for them for acquiring somebody with such talent on a defensive, you know, front.
They have so much talent on that team.
That defense is going to be nasty.
Oh my gosh.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are a hard team to stay down. I mean, 33 points, that's, you know, I mean, at any point in time, they can go off for 20 in 2 minutes. So
well, Tyreek Hill just keeps catching the ball deep. I mean, literally,
but he's not a
everything else
receiver.
Fails. What's that?
He's not a wide receiver. Remember, Jalen Ramsey called him a non-wide receiver turn specialist.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, he called the number one receiver in the NFL. Well, for right now, a return specialist because he's an asshole. But okay, go ahead.
Tyreek Hill would blow by him every play.
Dude, Jalen Ramsey's a clown.
He is a clown, man. They got him playing down. We'll talk about that, but they got him playing down in the box this year. I think he's going to play well, to be honest with you. But I agree. I'm not a Ramsey fan. But yeah, man, good game. And I mean,
Patrick
Chiefs look
Mahomes,
like the Chiefs.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes it. You know, he had 337 for 3 touchdowns, 131 QBR. You know, freaking Tyreek Hill had 11 catches for 197 and a touchdown. I got to tell you, I was projected to beat the guy that I was playing in fantasy this week by 50. And it was in the game, like when that game was being played, I was still projected with everything. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Tyreek Hill started catching all these balls and scoring, you know, a touchdown. I'm like, Jesus, dude. Then I went into Monday night's game last night with only projecting to beat him by like 12. And he had one player and I had one player. So it was a grind, but I think a lot of it had to do with friggin' Tyreek Hill, man.
Tyreek Hill, 11 catches, 197, bro. I mean, that's all he does is catch it.
He's worth every penny they end up paying him. So.
I mean, last thing I'm going to say about this game is OBJ. I mean, what you know,
where is he? What's going on with him?
I don't know.
He didn't even play, did he?
No, he didn't play, but I'm just saying it sucks. Like, I just feel like he comes here and he's just been absolutely nothing.
He's been non-existent.
You know, it's unfortunate because he was so dynamic. And it's sad. I hate when players leave a team, go to a new team, and then waste 3 to 4 years of their career, either with an injury or non-productivity. And now if they go somewhere else, they're older. And then it's like they miss their prime. I don't know. That's why when players, like you said with Galladay, when players leave their teams, I think players should stay on a team their whole career. I really do. I know it's tough because of money and stuff, but
the only player that I can say I would actually a couple players though, but realistically, I would say D-Hop made the right. I mean, he didn't even make the choice. He got traded.
No, he got traded.
It wasn't like
he'd be good anywhere though. He's a nasty freak of that.
Yeah. You're right. Actually, I'm not even going to talk about. He was a free agent. So those are trades. I'm not even going to bring that up. But yeah, like someone like Kenny Galladay, he was a free agent. He easily could have re-signed with the Lions and probably had more of a production year. But same thing, man. I think OBJ is just.
It sucks, man.
He's ruining his career, man.
Oh, man, it sucks.
Same thing with someone like Le'Veon Bell, dude. He thought he was worth more than what he was. Went to the Jets, and it's been all downhill from there. Now he's a backup with a 34-year-old Devontae Freeman. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Yeah. You had so many more years left to be a shining freaking star in the
know.
NFL, and you ruin your career because of your own self.
That's what happens. The selfishness of the money will get
It's
you.
crazy,
It crushes these guys, man.
It's ridiculous. I mean, get a hold of yourself, man. Like
know.
it's more than just money. It's a game too that you got to be passionate about and want to play. And when the money's not right, you don't want to play. Bullshit, dude. Where were you when you were playing in college? Where were you when you were playing in high
Right.
school? You were playing because you loved the game.
The game.
And I'm 35 years old now, man. I'm held together by duct tape and super glue. What I would give to be able to go out and play football again for
Right.
free. You know what I mean? But I can't. And these assholes are holding out for $1 million, $2 million more per year. And I get it. They got families to provide. But dude, you're making more money than any of us could ever dream of doing.
Playing
Play
sport.
the damn game, dude.
Agreed,
Play
man.
the damn game.
I'm 100% on board with you. It's
Mhm.
unfortunate with him because he could have been, maybe he will, but I don't know. It sucks. So Rams Bears was the Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
That was something. I like so that right out of the gates, Matthew Stafford did a nice little rollout. That arm it's like he was a rookie. Oof.
I'm rocking him today, man. Listen, I am not a Rams fan. I am a Matthew Stafford fan. I'll always be a Matthew Stafford fan.
For sure.
I think what he did in Detroit was incredible, and he had nothing around him. So it is what it is, man. Obviously, they saw that he just had raw talent and it was not being utilized appropriately. He put 10 years in with the Lions. God bless him, man. He did enough to make me a fan of him.
Sure.
He was always playing when he was injured. He was a tough, gritty guy, and he had a hell of an arm, and he knew where to put the ball. So with that being said, he's on a team where he's going to prosper. I mean, he looked great in a Rams uniform the other night.
Okay.
He was hitting everybody. I mean, he had the best passer rating I think he's ever had, to be honest with you.
Did he?
He had 156.1. Isn't that perfect?
That's perfect. Yeah, pretty much.
That's
a couple point percentage away, but it's good.
Yeah, he was 20 for 26, 321 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, jeez,
That's incredible.
If he was in Detroit, he probably would have went, 25 for 38 with maybe 320 yards and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and sacked 5 times. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I know.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, God bless him. I hope they do. I hope he does well this year, but I hope they don't do well this year because we got we got a 2022 and a 2023 first round pick. So from the Rams, I'm hoping that they don't do so well, so that way our picks a little bit higher. But they look damn.
They got a good overall team too. But when is it time to put Justin Fields in? When is
I think after this week.
You think that?
I do. I honestly think they start. I think they start peppering him in a little bit more because I got to tell you, the Red Rocket didn't do too much. Andy Dalton, he had 206. He had an interception, no touchdown. He got sacked 3 times. He had a 72 QBR. That ain't cutting it.
Why put him in? So Matt Nagy promised him when he signed him that he would be the starter of the team. So that's why he's keeping him in, I heard. But I guess what's the thought process? Do you think is your team around him ready to go to the playoffs? Or I guess I don't know why you'd even keep him in. What's the thought process, especially when Matt Nagy has this year, and when this year's done and he doesn't make the playoffs, if he leaves Dalton he's gone.
Absolutely.
He's gone 100%.
So to me, making promises as a football coach in the NFL to a football player, there are no promises. Who the hell cares? A verbal, I promise you'll be this. Bullshit.
Right.
If the guy that we just drafted to be your predecessor is outplaying you and is more athletic and can throw the ball better than you and can make reads and check downs better than you and can move out of the pocket and run down the field better than you and provide a spark to the team and the sideline and the fans better than you, get him the fuck in the game. Get rid of Andy Dalton, dude. He has never been a good quarterback. He had a couple of good years only because he was throwing the ball to AJ Green. Give me a break. He has never been a tier 1. He's never even been a tier 2 quarterback in my eyes. He's always been a tier 3 quarterback. And he just had bullshit years where he had a couple, 1,000 or 2,000 yards and some touchdowns. Get him out, man. He's old. He sucks. He is not. I think Justin Fields is the future. I think he's going to be a really good player. And I think he just needs the keys to the kingdom now at this point.
Agreed. Put him in. The energy, if you watched I don't know if you saw his touchdown, but if you watch his touchdown, when he came in and scored that touchdown, you just felt a different energy and the team just rallied around. You could tell they want him in.
Charismatic.
There's
He's
just
got
something.
it. He's got the it factor, and teams want to play with him,
Yep.
and coaches want to coach him.
Agreed.
Plain and simple.
I think a veteran player should on that Chicago team should step up and talk to the coach about it. I really do. I think somebody should say something and be like, listen, what do we, we're only getting older. Like, what are we doing here? Let's get this guy in and see what he's got and give us a chance to make a run at something.
I personally think Fields should start next game. I mean,
why wouldn't he? Right. I agree.
I mean, he went 2 for 2. I mean, he didn't do much.
No.
He scored a rushing touchdown, but get him in. He's ready to go.
He's ready.
He is.
Ready.
He can't do much worse than what your starting quarterback that you promised to be the starter did.
That's what I mean. Get him in.
Dave, I'll tell you who had a really good game for them though, real quick, is David Montgomery. I almost traded for him.
Played good.
Yeah, this past week I was trying to get a little something going with him because I have a bleeding running back right now. So trying to get someone like that in my
Ronnie J.
Ron Jizzle.
Yeah, he gave up that ball quick in that Monday night game.
Sure did,
Thursday night game.
Said, see you later. See you later.
Yep. So we got 2 games left. I guess we can talk about the Thursday night game. That's kind of past now, but the Monday night game last night.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Thoughts on you like both teams this year being both good?
It's hard to say. I mean, I've never been, and hopefully my brother-in-law doesn't hear this from my sister because they're huge Raider fans. And I got to tell you, bro, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to send you a video of my brother-in-law and sister's downstairs area.
You showed me. It's insane.
Incredible.
Insanity.
So with that said, I've never been a Derek Carr fan ever. Never liked him. He played well last night, though. I'll give him that. He had a couple of bad throws. I mean, the one to Willie Snead at the end of the game there, he could have easily just literally threw him a layup, but he threw it at 100 miles an hour like it was a fucking fastball over home plate.
Yep.
Bounced off of people's helmets and got intercepted. I mean, there was no reason for it. He had no touch on the ball. I think he still threw for 435.
He threw for the most. I think he had the most passing yards in the league this week.
But he also threw 56 freaking times and he went into overtime. So.
Yeah, no, that's true. Threw a lot. Arm's going to be a little sore.
Yeah,
you can't throw that many times to sustain a full season. I mean, that's too many times to be throwing.
Yeah, you're gonna be shortening your career by a lot. Tell you one guy though that I am thoroughly impressed with, and he's only getting better, and he's got a great story to him, is Darren Waller.
Yeah, he does have a good story.
He's really good, man. I mean, he had 10 catches for a touchdown, 105 yards.
It's a freak.
I mean, he's a freak tight end, man.
Best tight end in the league, right? I mean,
I would say
up right now,
I would say he's in the top 3 right now.
Gotta be, yeah. Kelsey, him.
I would put top 5 tight ends. Obviously, I would put Kelsey and Kittle's in.
Yeah.
And then I would put probably him at, between 2 and 3 there. It's hard to take Kelsey off number 1 for now.
Yeah, Kelsey's and
then I would put my boy Hawkinson in there, dude.
Yeah, Hawkinson's up there.
He is, man.
He shows up this year too.
He's going to have a hell of a year this year too.
He'll be up there.
Mm-hmm. But Josh Jacobs did not impress me whatsoever. I think Kenyon Drake needs to get a couple more touches in that offense.
Yeah, what happened with Jacobs yesterday?
I don't know. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, but he only touched the ball 10 times for 34 yards. I mean,
couldn't run. They could obviously 56 pass attempts. They weren't interested in running. I mean, really.
Right.
Why bring in Kenyon Drake if you're, at least maybe you're giving Jacobs a break, I thought, and whatever, but they just didn't. I don't know.
Right.
Didn't work for him.
Yeah.
On the other side, Lamar Jackson, what'd you think? He played
okay. I mean, the poor guy has nobody to throw the ball to besides.
Why don't they get anybody for him? Well, they got Hollywood Brown, who I think is not a good receiver.
Not a good receiver. He's a good slot receiver and a burner, maybe. I'll throw him the ball down the field, but most of the time, what I'd like to do is bring him in at the slot and throw him like a speed screen or something like that, and have somebody clear out the side for him and just let him go.
Right.
But as far as that, he's like a Henry Ruggs to me. He's a deep threat. That's it.
Yeah. Who's their number one? Would he
Sammy.
be? That's it.
I would say probably Sammy Watkins. I had heard, they drafted Rashad Bateman this year from Minnesota, but he's injured. He didn't play last night.
No.
I had heard some rumblings that who the hell were they trying to get? Oh, they were trying to get, and this is not even for the Ravens, but for the Raiders, because Derek Carr used to play at Fresno with Devontae Adams. I've heard that after this season, they're going to get him over there and be the number 1, because the Raiders really don't have anybody to throw the ball to either besides Waller.
Ruggs
got
is
nobody.
nothing.
Ruggs
And
is
they got that
chum.
new, who's the rookie, or is it
They got Brian Edwards.
Ryan? Yes.
He's a second year player.
Oh, second year.
Yeah, Hunter Renfro.
Renfro's not. I mean,
Yeah, Hunter Renfro, and then obviously Henry Ruggs, Willie Snead, and then they got Zay Jones. But Zay Jones, he
caught
really,
the winning. Yeah, he had the overtime win, but still, he's
never
none
good.
of them are true number one receivers. They're all just
No.
good twos, threes.
Yeah, good 2s and 3s. I think that if they do make that offseason acquisition and get him over there, then they'd be something to really talk about, because then that offense would be much more dynamic. But no, good for them, man. I mean, that's going to be a hard division to win, but I mean, the fact that they showed out in an overtime game. Carl Nassib, good for him, dude. The first openly gay player in the NFL, dude. He had the game, the sack in the game that caused the fumble for.
Oh, he did. I didn't even hear. I didn't even hear he came out or anything like that.
Oh, you didn't?
Nope, I didn't even know about it.
This past offseason, he came out publicly on his social medias, and then ESPN actually put it out there for everybody to see. He's the first openly gay player in the NFL, which, kudos to him.
Is that the first one ever?
The one to openly
yes.
Play a player. The other guy who got drafted a few years back, he was a defensive end, I think, from like South Carolina or something like that. He got drafted but didn't play. He he bounced around, but he's the first openly gay player who's active in the NFL. And he just came out publicly, which is great. That's awesome. Good for you. Stay true to yourself. It doesn't mean you're any different of a teammate or a person.
Sure.
Right. But at the same time, it was nice to see him come up with that strip sack.
Yeah.
Because that was really the change of momentum, because
for sure.
That was not for anything, but the Raiders went down. They just missed that game-winning touchdown, right? Because he was down. Then they went in and they tried to do a sneak with Carr, and they got obviously pushed back. Then Jeremiah Ledbetter, which is the rookie tackle for the Raiders, offsides, right? False start,
False start, yep.
They get pushed back, and then they do that stupid ass play where it dinks around people's helmets and it gets intercepted. So the very next possession, all the Ravens really needed to do was go down the field and kick a field goal, because now it was their possession in overtime.
Correct, right.
So Carl came up and made that nice sack strip fumble, which was awesome. And Max Crosby showed out. He had an awesome game too, man. That's definitely finding a diamond in a rough right there.
For sure. I agree.
He has most certainly outproduced Cleveland Farrell, who got drafted 2 or 3 rounds ahead of him. So.
Everybody was so shocked when Cleveland was drafted that draft. I don't know if we watched it together. We might have.
No, I was watching that in the Raiders bar with my brother-in-law.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, because that was the year they drafted Hawkinson, and I was mad about Hawkinson getting drafted.
Yeah.
Now hindsight, I guess I'm not.
Yeah, not now.
But yeah, that year was the year they drafted Farrell first, and he has not done a thing.
Not a thing.
And after that, they followed up with Josh Jacobs, and they had 3 number 1 picks or first round picks that year.
I remember that.
And Jonathan Abrams, who's a very good safety.
He is good. He was injured, I think, his first year, maybe, or
he got hurt after
something like that.
Games.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, man. So good game
though. It was a good Monday night game, that's for sure.
And then do you want to touch on the Thursday night, because you never got a chance to, or not Thursday night? Yeah, the Thursday night with Bucs and Cowboys, or
we'll just talk. We had a whole cast about that game, but we'll talk about it real quick, because now the game's been played.
Right.
But nice to see Dak came out. He threw the ball 58 times though. Still threw for 403, had 101 QBR, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. All 3 of those wide receivers. Now that Michael Gallup is actually injured, it's going to be the CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper show. I got Cooper on my squad, man. He had 13 catches for 139 and 2 touchdowns. Again, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I think he is the best route runner in the NFL, hands down.
Nasty.
Him and Keenan Allen might be giving him a run for his money, and Devontae Adams, that's it. But I still think he is the best route runner in the game. So explosive offense. Nice to see that they came. They're looking good. They're going to be a good team in that division. But of course, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers did what they did. Zeke Elliott, he did not have a good game.
What happened?
But I will say this though. So a lot of times what he was doing in the game is not going to show up on a stat sheet. So his pass protection was absolutely incredible.
Was it crazy?
It was absolutely insane. So I will give him that. His pass protection was absolutely second to nobody in the NFL this past week. He was giving Dak a lot of time, and it showed. I mean, he had 403 yards in the air. So he stepped up. He literally was taking on linebackers left and right and filling those blitzes, and he was picking up those blitzes nice. So kudos to him. He's not nearly what he once was rushing the ball. He only had 11 rushes for 33 yards. So that's not like him.
I almost think you give Pollard a chance a little more. You get a little explosiveness, a little different feel.
I do too. And I was talking about that with a bunch of the guys that I'm in the fantasy football league with. Tony Pollard might be the future there. I don't know. Hot take right there. Hot take.
That's right.
Hot take.
I don't know, man. It just looked like Zeke is, I don't know, man.
His course there, man. He looks
It's
a little
weird.
sloppy.
He
Looks
does.
a little sloppy.
Well, you got to think about it. The first, was it 1 or 2 years he was there? That O-line was just, the holes were so big for him.
Huge.
And now can he create something for himself? I mean,
Right.
he hasn't. So I don't know. It's tough.
Sure hasn't.
Other side of the ball. I mean, you look at Tom Brady. They look good.
The ageless wonder, man.
Dude, they had 4 turnovers and they still won that game. That makes me think that they're that incredible of a team. I mean, 4 turnovers and you still come out on top.
Because if the offense is playing bad, the defense can pick them up. If the defense is playing bad, the offense can pick them up, and vice versa. You know what I mean? It's like
scary.
They don't have any run game, obviously. Leonard Fournette had 9 rushes for 32 yards.
Too much.
Ronald Jones only had 4 touches for 14 with a fumble.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything
Took
there.
him right out.
But it was the Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin show, man. I mean, both of them. I mean, they both went over 100 yards. Both had a touchdown, respectively. 5 catches for Antonio, 9 for Godwin. Gronked out too, bro. He had 8
played
catches
well
for 90 yards and 2 tutties. So I mean, good for him, bro.
I know.
Mike Evans was non-existent, though. I will say that.
Why is that? Is it just how
sure.
their scheme this week or whatever? But I remember in New England, they used to have, 1 week you'd see the tight ends going off and the running backs getting a lot of catches out of the backfield. And then the next week you'd see the receivers going wild, but I don't know. But Mike Evans, even I think going into last season, I don't know if he played unbelievable I don't know. I just don't think they were getting the ball because they have so many weapons. It's tough to spread it around at times.
Yeah, I've never really been a huge Mike Evans fan. I think above average. I think he's an above average receiver, most certainly. But I think he's no Julio Jones at that size. He's no Calvin Johnson at that size, right?
Yeah.
So to me, he's more of like a, throw it up to him in the red zone and give him the ball, for a chance for a post up play or something,
Sure.
Catch the ball at the highest point and that's it.
Sure.
He's not fast by any means to me. You got burners like Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin. Yeah, dude, Tommy Brady looked like he was slinging. I mean, Tom of old. I mean, he was slinging the rock downfield.
Good.
So,
scary
I don't know.
team.
Evans might make me eat my words next week and come out with 10 catches for 220 and 3 touchdowns, which I hope he does. But they're a scary team. NFC, they're still the top dogs in my eyes. I think the Rams are right there behind them, though. To be honest with you, I think those are going to be the 2 top contenders in the NFC.
I would agree. But
yeah,
good week of football, man. It was freaking awesome to have it back. I was
excited.
Gosh, it was fun.
Yeah. And I think you already said, I'm just going to throw my fantasy out there just because I'm the man at fantasy football. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Team's 1-0 right now. Most points scored. Team was incredible. So, Coop, I don't think you had the same luck on yours.
We went 0-2 in both leagues.
A couple of goosers.
Najee Harris didn't do well for me. Nick Chubb played great, but Aaron Jones I had.
A Jones, not looking good.
I thought for sure he would be, a little catch out of the backfield, a little something, but
not in there.
It's just not working.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. Yeah.
We're not feeling it.
No tutties, no nothing.
That's.
But yeah, man.
You want to just go over real quick. Just throw out your picks for this week, and that's it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, instead of throwing, unless you want to do.
No, let's do it. Throw out a picks for this week. We'll go. Yeah.
All right.
If you want to go, you got the games in front of you.
Yeah, I do.
Pick them.
All right. Lions, Packers. Well, actually, I'm not going to start with that game because that's the Monday night game. Let's go in order here.
Sure.
So all the Sunday games, 1:00. Bengals, Bears. Who you got?
Bengals at Bears.
It's Bengals at Bears. Yes, sir.
Bengals at Bears. I think it depends on the quarterback situation. I think Fields is in. I think that game is a lot closer. I like the Bears defense a little bit, but I think that the Bengals will go in and I think they take a victory. So I'm taking the Bengals that game. Yep.
Perfect. I'm right on there with you. If Justin Fields comes in and starts the game, I think it's a different story. At home, I think maybe the Bears take it. So this game's going to be, if Justin Fields plays, it's a pick 'em for me. But if Justin Fields is not and Andy Dalton is in, I do think the Bengals come out with a victory there as well.
Agreed.
All right. Next game at the 1 o'clock. So we got the Texans Browns. Who you got?
Texans at the Browns. I mean, you got to go Browns, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
You can't. I don't think Texans have the same luck against the Browns, especially being in Cleveland, and that offense is nasty. And like we were just talking about the defense too. So I think the Browns come away with this pretty easily too.
Yep, absolutely. The spread is actually 12.5.
It's a lot.
So that's a lot. And I'm right there with you. I think the Browns come out with a decisive victory. The Texans just beat up on a rookie quarterback and a team that's under construction right now with a new head coach. So it is what it is. I think the Browns win that game, and I think they actually win by more than 12.5. So
wow, I like it.
Yeah. Next game up, we got Rams at Indy. Who you got? The spread is -4.5 Rams.
-4.5 Rams. I take the Rams this game based on their team, the whole team in general, how the offense played, defense. I'm thinking this game's closer than people are gonna expect, though. But I think that the Rams come out on top.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. I think the same thing. It's hard to go against Matthew Stafford, especially with the way he just showed up.
Yeah.
His week 1 having an almost perfect QBR. Good for him. I'm a big Stafford fan. I think the Rams beat the Colts. That Colts defense is really good, but I am not a believer in Carson Wentz. So I do think the offense comes out on top with the Rams, and I think they cover the spread.
Like it.
All right, next 1 o'clock game here. We got your beloved Dolphins and Bills. Bills are playing at the Dolphins, though. So who you got? The spread is 3.5. Bills -3.5.
This game is a tough game, and unbiasedly, I got to go with the Bills. I just can't see the Bills having 2 straight bad games, especially offensively with that firepower they have. Miami's got a strong defense. They could contest with the receivers on the outside. The run, if Josh Allen starts to run on them, I think that's going to hurt the Dolphins. They got a weak interior and linebacking core, and I don't think Tua can go throw for throw with Josh Allen. So if they start scoring, I don't think Tua can score with them unless he proves me wrong. So I'm going to take the Bills. I think it's close, but I'm taking the Bills in this one, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, that's a normal mentality to have. Just because you're a fan doesn't mean you have to let that cloud your judgment. And
Sure.
I'm not saying that the Dolphins are going to get pounded or anything. I think the game is very close. But you're right. I don't think the Bills are going to let last week determine what they do this week. They had a very poor showing, and they know that. And now I think they're going to just focus on what they did wrong this past week. And moving forward, they're going to play much better. And the Bills that we saw last year are probably going to show up. However, you guys are getting Fuller back this week. You got Devontae Parker, you got Waddle, you got Gaskins coming out of the backfield. I think that if they can scheme up a couple of, down the field plays to Fuller, get a couple of those going early in the ball game,
right,
and get the secondary to kind of second guess themselves and kind of throw them off a little bit, their game, and then start dumping and, doing little tiny pop passes to maybe Waddle in the flat or Gaskins out of the backfield. I think the game's going to be, a lot closer than what we might think. So if they do that, I think the game is going to be a close one. It's Dolphins at home. But again, I am going to take the Bills, and I think they just cover the spread. But I think they win by maybe a field goal.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Next 1 o'clock game, we got Patriots at the Jets. We got
Patriots
5.5.
Got to go Pats. I think they come. Their old line is so nasty. I think Mac Jones has a really good game. I think he gets his first win this week. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see how Zach Wilson plays against the Patriots. But I still think that they come out on top. I think that their offensive line is just too strong, and Damian Harris has another good week. And when he's running well, like last week, he just opens up that play action pass, and it's just a lot easier for Mac Jones to get those completions. And I think they win by a touchdown or so, 10 point.
Yeah, absolutely. Patriots at the Jets. I think the Patriots do come out on top. I think with what I saw with Mac Jones last week, he's got a very promising career. Again, that's not to sell, Zach Wilson short. I think he's going to be a stud at some point in his career too. I think he just needs to kind of taper it down a little bit and not get too overzealous. but at the same time, it's gonna be a good game. I think the Patriots do come out on top. I think they win by probably it'd probably be like a 27-24 game in my eyes, something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think they keep it that close though, huh?
Yeah, I think they do.
Okay.
I think they start to utilize some of their small, younger players and start, scheming up some plays to get Elijah Moore the ball. Is it Michael Carter? I want to make sure I say
Michael Carter. Yeah, we saw Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams. Yeah, that's an edit we got to make. But yeah, I think Patriots do come out on top, but I think it's a little bit closer than 5.5 for that spread. So
okay.
Next 1:00 game is going to be Niners at Eagles. I think this is gonna be a good game.
I do too. That's a tough one to call. What is the spread on that right now?
You got 3.5. Niners minus 3.5.
Yeah, at Eagles. I take, based on how I saw the Niners almost implode last week after having such a strong lead, I'm going with the Eagles at home. Hurts showed out. He's against a tougher defense this time, but I'd like to see him make a statement game here at home. Came off a big win on the road. Now let's get to it again and show him that, it wasn't a joke last week and I can beat a good team coming into our stadium. And that's a tough place to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, coming in, Eagles fans are ruthless. So
yeah, they're real nice people.
Yeah, sweethearts.
Yeah.
But I just think that Hurts and them, they mesh a little better this week than last week. They have momentum, and I think the momentum for the Niners, the Lions ruined that by almost coming back against that. That's not an impressive win when you let a team come back by that much. So I'm going with the Eagles, and they cover the spread.
Yep, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. I think the Eagles actually do beat the Niners here. A couple of reasons why. I am not a fan of Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he is a bad quarterback, to be honest with you. He is never going to be an elite quarterback ever, and he gets paid like one. He beat up on a very young secondary in the Lions last week, in which case Jeff Okudah, our first round pick from 2 years ago, actually tore his Achilles during one of the plays.
Unfortunate, yep.
He's out for the season. So he did well against a bad team. Okay. Yeah. The defense for the Detroit Lions is not good. And you're right. It was not a decisive win. It looked more decisive for 3/4 of that football game, but they did not finish the game. And they actually were in jeopardy of losing the game to a very poor team, to a bad team. So with that said, I think Eagles are only going onward and upward from this point. Jalen Hurts is very promising, and I do think that the Eagles end up taking that game, and I do think they cover that spread.
Yep, agreed.
Next game here, Raiders at Steelers. Who you got? Spread is Steelers minus 5.5.
That's a tough game, man. It's a tough one to call. So at the Steelers with that defense, gosh, I gotta go Steelers, I think, just because it's at home. But Big Ben has got to do that. Offense has got to show something, because I didn't think they showed anything last week. If they can get Najee Harris running a little bit, maybe it'll open up, their passing game. But I'm going to take them by a very small amount. I'm even having a tough time taking them just because of how good the offense looked for the Raiders. But that defense is so stingy for the Steelers. I don't think that they have the same success. But is Baltimore's defense that bad? I don't think they are either. So I don't know, man. But I think Carr plays well still. I think that they're going to have a tough time running it. So I don't know. But I'm taking the Steelers by a small margin.
Okay. And this is the first game that I think we're going to disagree here. So I am going to take the Raiders in Pittsburgh. And here's why. Just as you said, I think if we're comparing the last two games, or the two teams that the Raiders, or the last team that the Raiders played and the team they're going to play this weekend, I think that, just as you started to touch base on, I don't think that the Baltimore defense is that bad. They're just as, I think they're right in line with where the Steelers defense is. Of course, I think Steelers defense is a little bit better. But you got to factor in, okay, so two kind of equal defenses that they're going to play, and Derek Carr did carve up that defense, I will say. He did. But then you got to talk about quarterback play. Ben Roethlisberger is not nearly as good as Lamar Jackson. And that defense for the Raiders, with all intents and purposes, they did contain Lamar Jackson. They're going to get that defensive line with Max Crosby, Carl Nassib. I mean, I think that they're a good defensive line, man. They get to the quarterback. They rush that quarterback. They pressure that quarterback. And I don't think Big Ben will be able to get out of the way fast enough. So I think that they send the house against them.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think Najee Harris has that great of a game either.
Yeah.
And I think this might be a game where, again, Waller shows out, but I think the running game actually does kick it up a notch this week for the Raiders. So
You do. You think they come out?
I do.
Okay.
I think they have a little bit more of a run game. So I'm going to take the Raiders, and I'm going to take the Raiders by 3.
Okay.
All right. So we have 2 more 1:00 games. We got the Saints at the Panthers. Saints minus 3.5. What do you got?
Saints at Panthers.
Yep.
Based on how the Saints played, I'm gonna have to go with the Saints, but it's a tough one for me to call just because they beat up on a Packers team that didn't come out to play, which was very disappointing to see. But if Jameis Winston can, throw some touchdowns again, and that defense isn't all that bad on the Saints either, I think they can come out on top. Panthers with McCaffrey, I think they'll play good. I don't think Sam Darnold showed anything incredible this past week for me to really say, okay, he's going to come out and, beat the Saints based on the Saints performance last week. But so I'm going to have to go Saints. Close game. I'll give them 3 points. They'll beat them by 3.
Yep. And I'm there with you, man. I think, Jameis Winston, I think everybody kind of was downplaying what his abilities really were. And if he was able to protect the ball, my man threw for 5 touchdowns. He only had $188 in the air, but so what? That's all that was given to him. I think he does. Right. I think he does throw another good game. I think he plays well again. And I do think that they take a W. They eat that W, bro, in Carolina.
Yeah.
And I think they definitely cover that spread. I think it's going to be Saints by 10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Next game here, we got Broncos at Jaguars. Broncos are -6. Who you got?
Broncos at Jags. You know what? I don't know why I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm taking the Jags. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence. I'm taking the home game. I'm feeling they come back strong. I liked Lawrence's interview after the game. He's a perfectionist. He wants to work on everything. He doesn't like losing. Urban Meyer's not used to losing. I think they come back and they build on the small things that they did right against the Texans. Although I think the Broncos are a much tougher team. For some reason, I'm taking the Jags. I want to see him win. I think that's what it is. I want to see Trevor Lawrence get his first win. So I'm taking the Jags by, maybe 3, maybe 1, maybe 0.5.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe a tie happens.
Yeah, right.
We're going to disagree on this one.
Sure.
In Teddy, I trust. I'm going to show you just a quick little clip here. So
what do we got?
Go ahead and check this out real quick. It's okay. Let's move this over here.
Limboing.
There's Teddy.
Oh,
he's going to be walking. He's walking into he's walking into Jacksonville just like this.
I think I got to switch my pick now.
That's it. Look at him. He's peacocking right now.
He's going to buckle his knee.
He is going to show up in Jacksonville again, baby. And I'm proud of him. So that's Teddy B, baby.
That was great.
I think the Broncos defense is very stingy. I think they're going to get after Trevor Lawrence. I do think that they do correct the mistakes that they made this past week, Jacksonville, but I also think that the Broncos are only going to get better. Melvin Gordon actually had a good game too. Can't discount him, dude. He played pretty well. So Jacksonville's got nobody on defense anymore. So I think the Broncos have a day in Jacksonville, and I think they cover the spread of 6. So I think it's anywhere from a 2-score game. I think they win by 14.
Okay.
Next we got Vikings at Cardinals. Cardinals are -4.5. What do you got? That's the first 4:00 game that we're going to talk about.
Okay. Cardinals 100%. Vikings will put up this game. This will be one of the games where the Vikings actually put up a fight. This is going to be a very close game. I feel like it is. I don't know why. It's just one of those games where I don't know, like Kirk Cousins will show out one game and then he won't show out. I feel like this is a game they come out and they play hard, but I still think the Cardinals win. D-Hop, Kyler Murray, they played well last week. I only think they're going to build off of that. But I think it's a close game. I really do. I think it's like maybe a 3-point game, field goal away. But definitely the Cardinals at home. Yep.
I'm taking Cardinals too. I think it's a high scoring game. I do think that the Cardinals offense is just too much to handle, and that showed this past week with Murray. They got AJ Green, they got D-Hop. They got what's his name? James what the hell is his name? Connor too, but he didn't do
Oh
anything.
yeah, he didn't do anything. No.
But I think he has the ability to. But yeah, no, I like that offense. I like that defense too, man. I'm gonna say the Cardinals win. I think they win by a touchdown.
Okay.
But it is gonna be a high scoring game. Okay, next we have the Falcons at Buccaneers. Buccaneers are -12.5. Who you got?
Bucs all day.
No
covering
words
that spread.
Nothing to even be said there.
I mean, I think the Falcons just get housed.
Yeah.
There's not much to
Nothing to
say.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
I'm taking the Bucs too, and I think they cover the spread. I think the Falcons are actually the bottom of the barrel team right now. I actually think they might be the worst team in the NFL based off of what I saw this past week. So
yeah, I stand corrected on that. I thought they were going to be a lot better, and they're just not at all.
Same. I think they're making a run at number 31 or number 32 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, it's bad.
All right, not much to be said there. But next game here, 4 o'clock, we got Cowboys at Chargers. Chargers are -3. Who you got?
Man, this game's gonna be good. This is going to be a good game.
Shootout.
Man, Cowboys at the Chargers. Based on what I saw this week, I think I'm going to go home team, and that it's only because they're the home team. If it was at Dallas, I think I'd be taking Dallas, but because they're home and I like the way Herbert's playing, I like that team. I think that the Chargers come out on top by a small margin. Again, I think this can be a close game. I think it's going to be a decent high scoring game, but probably like a 3-point win by the Chargers.
Okay.
Dak will play well. But I feel the Chargers are going to win this.
All right, and I'm gonna disagree with you on this one. I'm gonna take the Cowboys, just based off of what I saw this past week. I think that they're back. I think that Dak is fully motivated and ready to go. I think that if there was a little bit more time on the clock, I think the Cowboys could have won that game, or maybe even a little bit less time on the clock. The Cowboys would have won the game.
Right.
And they almost beat the defending Super Bowl champs. So. I'm going to take Cowboys, and I think that it is going to be a high-scoring game. I think that they win by 3. I think they win a game-winning field goal at the end. So
okay.
And I think Zeke has a better game than he did last week offensively.
He's got to. In order for them to do anything, he has to.
Yep. All right, last 4 o'clock game before we get to the primetime games here. We got the Titans at Seahawks. Seahawks are -5.5. Who you got?
Seahawks. Based on that performance, that offense, and how weak the Titans defense is, I have to go Hawks with Russell Wilson. That team is strong right now, man. I feel like the defensive end of things is gonna make it another tough game for Tannehill and the boys. I think they'll play a little bit better. They'll correct some things they did wrong. But I think that Russell Wilson will outthrow Ryan Tannehill, even if it does get into some sort of shootout, which I can't see happening. But I think they win. They do cover the spread. They'll win by 7.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. I think Seahawks take it over the Titans. I don't think Derrick Henry has a good game again. I think he musters up maybe 75 yards of offense this week. I don't think Tannehill does very well either. I think that with the addition of Julio Jones, it's actually hurting the team.
I wonder why, but you're right. I know.
Again, it's kind of like the OBJ situation in Cleveland. When you have a big time name like that, just like Antonio Brown when he went to the Raiders, you bring in these big time players. They think they're better than the team and they do stupid shit like Julio Jones opens his mouth, gets a penalty, hurts the team. Right. But that wasn't the deciding factor. I just think that now it's to the point where Tannehill's trying to please too many people. You got to feed AJ Brown. You got to feed Julio Jones. You got to feed, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where
I agree.
You want the player, but you don't want what comes with the player. Right.
Correct.
So I think that the Seahawks take it. And I think they do cover the 5.5 spread. I think they win by a touchdown.
Okay.
All right, then we got the primetime game. We got the Chiefs at the Ravens. Chiefs are -3.5. Who you got?
Chiefs at the Ravens. Man, this is a tough one for me to pick, but it's hard to go against the Chiefs in that performance. And I think that the Browns have a stronger defense than Baltimore. I don't know if it's that much stronger, but I do think it's a stronger defense. So I think the Chiefs show out, and I think that they win a close game in Baltimore, but I do think they come out on top. Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, I mean, the way they played this week in Kelsey, if they can get any type of run game going, I feel like they can be pretty dynamic. But if Lamar Jackson, I don't think the Kansas City defense is all that strong either. So if Lamar Jackson can come out, and he's nobody to throw to, but if he can run on them a little bit and make some plays with his legs, I think that they can keep it close. But Kansas City comes out on top. I think they win by a touchdown.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that offense is just it's too good. The secondary of the Ravens is beat up a little bit. Who they just lose this past week and before the game even started. What the hell was his name? Why can't I think of it right now? Number 24, Marcus Peters.
Marcus
Peters.
Right before the game.
Before the game, Marcus Peters. So who they got in the back? I mean, they got Marlon Humphrey, but Tyreek Hill's going to carve them up, man. Again, I think Kelsey has a big game too. So I do think the Chiefs beat the Ravens, and it's unfortunate because I think the Ravens are a good team. I think they got screwed out of a win this past weekend, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I think the Chiefs take that game, and I think they win by 13, 14.
Oh man,
like
that big, huh?
Yeah. Two more games here. I did skip over the Thursday night game. My apologies there. So it's the Giants at the Washington football team.
Oh man, that should be a hell of a game.
It's a football team minus 3.5.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Heineke shows out and plays a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Gibson. They got a good defense. I don't think Jones can do that much. It's surprising because with Galladay, they got Shepard still. They got some weapons, but I don't know. They can't. I think it's gonna be tough for Barkley to run again. I don't know, if they'll use him a lot, but I think that the Washington football team, I think they win by 3. I think it's a close game, but I think they get the win.
Okay. Yep. I'm with you. I think Washington comes out with the win there. I think Heineke plays well. I think McLaurin gets off to a good start and finishes the game with probably 7 catches for 120 and a tutty. I think Gibson finally gets the ball rolling a little bit. I think he had a couple of turnovers this past week too. It didn't help him very much.
Right.
But I think Washington comes out on top at home, and I think they beat Giants by 10.
Can we talk about the underrated Terry McLaurin? I think he's super underrated, man.
I think the actual the perception of him is underrated, but I had him as a fantasy owner last year and I loved him.
Yeah,
and I think he's awesome. I think he's very good, dude. Ohio State product, right?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. He's good, man.
I really like him, man. I think he's a very good player. I think he's got great hands. He's got good speed, good route running. And you're right. He is underrated in the football world for some reason.
Football world, right.
But yeah, I like him a lot. He's a great player, and I hope nothing but good things for him this past weekend or this coming weekend. And then to round it out, the Monday night game that everybody's waiting for sure.
I can't wait.
My Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. Packers are minus 10.5. Who you got?
At the Packers, I mean, I think the spread's way too high. I think Aaron Rodgers. The problem with this game is it's so tough when you have a player like Aaron Rodgers play so shitty the week before, because then what you get a pissed off Aaron Rodgers at home. Yep. And now it's like, is he going to just go wild and throw, 4 touchdowns and say, I'm still Aaron Rodgers, I'm the MVP for a reason? Or are you going to get the shitty Aaron Rodgers that played last week? For me, I think Aaron Rodgers comes out strong. I think he comes back strong. I think he hates when people have all this negative talk about him. I think he listens to it. And I think it amps him up. And I think that's what he needed. And I think they come in and they play a good game. But I think the Lions are a good team. I still think they put up a fight. It's not going to be like a 42-7 game. I think it's going to be a maybe 3 points to a touchdown win by the Packers. But I do think the Packers take it at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my unbiased opinion, obviously, I think the Packers do take it at home. I don't think the reigning MVP of the league is going to let the same performance happen 2 weeks in a row, especially prime time, and especially against a team in a secondary like the Lions. Unfortunately, they did lose their first-round draft pick from 2 years ago, Jeff Okudah in the secondary, but that just gives more people the opportunity to step up.
Sure.
We got Afani Melifat. I don't even know how to say his name, to be honest with you. He's a rookie out of Syracuse. I think he's going to get the starting job this week in place of him. And then
out of Syracuse, huh? I hope he plays.
He's like 6'3". He's like 6'3".
Big boy.
Dude. Yeah, he's lengthy.
Yeah,
he's wiry. You got Amani Ojuwere. Dude, we got so many different names.
Oh my gosh, these names are crazy.
Levi Onwuzurike, Romeo Aquara, Julia Aquara, Jeff Okudah, Afani Melifatan. I don't even know how to say his friggin' name. it's a lot going on.
Insanity.
Yeah, it's too much. The whole team, man. I would never buy a jersey. I don't know what the hell I'd even say the name. But I think, you're right, dude. I think the Lions are a lot better than most people thought they were going to be, in just the sense that they're a gritty ass team. And that really showed. And I was very impressed with how they fought. And if they can continue to fight and keep that mentality moving forward under this regime, I think they're going to find success at some point. The athletic ability might not be there right now, but in the future to come, I think they do get there. But yeah, I think the Packers take the game. I think they do cover the spread. I think they win by 14. I think it's going to be like a 34-17 game.
You do? You don't think they can keep up with them at all?
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, I'm watching the team for this year. You know what I mean? If they can win the game, I want them to win the game and do well this year. I mean, that to me, that division's wide open right now. No team looks that great. They're all 0-1. So whoever wins this game, I mean, whoever wins, they could potentially be in the running for tied for first place. So I think that, I really hope the Lions do show out, but I do think the Packers win at home.
They got some momentum coming in from last week. There's a lot to be said about that game.
There is
those kind of games. There's just something that it shows something on the team.
The end result isn't what you're hoping for, but what you saw in those last few minutes is exactly what you want your team to do.
100%.
So
100%.
All right. Real quick, we got one lock of the week from each of us. So who's your lock of the week this week?
My lock of the week this week, I hate to say it, but it's going to be the Packers over the Lions this week. I just think that Rodgers can't have two bad games in a row. I can't see it happening. If it does, if I'm wrong, but I got to pick them. Lock of the week's got to be the Packers.
Absolutely. And no harm, no foul on my end.
So, I'm rooting for the Lions, but with the Packers, got to be the lock.
Same. My lock of the week is going to be the Buccaneers over Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta got housed this past week. I think it only gets worse for them when they go into Tampa. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got, man. Yeah, that was a good recap, man. We had a good time going over everything. If you guys want to hear anything more, drop a comment, hit that subscribe button, hit that like for us too. We really do appreciate that. If you're interested in knowing what we say, or listening to what we got to say about the recap of the games and our future picks for each week, stop in, hang out, enjoy our videos, man. We really do appreciate that. We're only up and coming right now. We are Foul Mouth Football. I am Palermo. That is my boy, Chris Kupari, aka Coop. We'll be here every week. So sit back, relax, and come hang out with us at Foul Mouth Football. We would really love to have you guys.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Till next time. See you.
Peace.